In this video, we're going to talk about 3 efficient ways that you can get your athlete to start swinging their bat or club faster. So the 3 ways that we have are efficient use of the ground, what we call segmental strength, and then what I call efficient positions throughout the swing, or relating to technique really. So let's start with efficient use of the ground. Now, the ground itself really doesn't give speed or power, but it does give the player the opportunity to create that with the muscles in their body when you're using the ground efficiently. So just as an example, let's say that we had a player that we were trying to get to swing on a frozen pond or on ice. Well, because there's no friction with the ground, every time they try and swing, they're going to lose that connection to the ground, and then any potential energy that they could have gotten between the stability between their feet and the ground and put that energy into their body to then create into speed is gone, right? So efficient use of the ground is definitely an important factor to generating higher degrees of speed in our body, and then hopefully out into the implement that we're trying to swing, whether it's a baseball bat or a golf club. So for a baseball player, if they're not using the ground properly, they're going to certainly have issues with swinging the bat faster. In golf, obviously our feet are meant to stay somewhat still. Now we do move a little bit, but if you have a golfer that really loses connection to the ground, well then, yeah, that's going to cause them issues down the line. The next is what we call segmental strength. So that's how strong we are in certain areas of our body to get our body from what we call position 1 to position 2 in the swing, right? We go through many positions, an infinite amount of positions in the swing, whether it be baseball or golf, depending upon how you look at it. So how do you go from one position to another and be able to accelerate at the right time and also decelerate at the right time? That's also an important piece. So we need what we call segmental strength to create the acceleration and deceleration patterns to transfer energy from a more proximal segment to a more distal segment. If we lack that, we're going to have trouble transferring energy from one segment to another. Now, some players might struggle with the acceleration piece, or other players might struggle with the deceleration piece, which means they can't get that energy from one segment to the next if they don't have the deceleration piece in place as well. Then finally, efficient positions really play a huge part in that segmental strength, right? Because if we're coming from positions that are stronger for our player, okay, it's going to be easier for them to accelerate and decelerate properly. When we start getting into positions that puts our players into more compromised spots in their swing, not only is it harder or takes more segmental strength to get the job done because they're coming from a position that's not as strong, you're also potentially leading your player down a path of injury, right? Athletes that we work with practice a lot, so we have overuse injuries to pay attention to, and if they're coming from positions that are not healthy for them, not only can they not create speed, but they're going to end up getting injured in the long run. So make sure you pay attention to proper use of the ground, how your player is strong in certain segments to accelerate and decelerate properly, and then from a technique perspective, what positions do you feel are best for your player to accomplish the task at hand of swinging a baseball bat or swinging a golf club effectively and healthy? Look for next week's video where we'll talk about speed gains and why speed gains might be even more important than overall speeds in your athlete's golf or baseball swing.